Welcome, everyone. Sometimes the most profound truths about our history, they aren't out in the open. They're actually
No.
deliberately hidden. Not buried in the ground exactly, but maybe in the silence of archives.
Yeah, it often takes a really skilled storyteller, someone like a literary archaeologist, to bring those stories out.
Exactly. To unearth those chilling realities, those hidden institutions, and the scars they leave behind. And that's what we're doing today. Enjoy a bold new take on book coverage with this extended analysis. It's more than just a summary, though we have that too. This feature looks at how the author shapes their argument, how they build influence, and how they earn or maybe lose your trust. The idea is to give you tools to read with sharper insight, more discernment. So, should you read this book? We hope this deep dive helps you figure that out. It's also, I think, great for aspiring writers wanting to understand the craft. And hey, if you find this format useful, please let us know. Your feedback really does help us shape future content. You're experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's NotebookLM for deeper, more dynamic book analysis.
It's great to be diving into Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys today, a Pulitzer winner from 2019, and it does exactly what you were just saying. It unearths this really crucial, painful piece of American history that, frankly, many would probably prefer stayed buried.
Absolutely. And the story behind this story, the inspiration, is just deeply unsettling, isn't it? The Nickel Boys takes the real-life horrors of the Dozier School for Boys, this segregated reform school down in Florida, and fictionalizes them. Whitehead builds the narrative around Elwood Curtis, a young black teenager in the early 60s. He's wrongfully sentenced to this place, Nickel Academy, as he calls it.
That's right. And the novel really zooms in on Elwood's experiences there. Through him, we get this incredibly vivid, almost unbearable picture of the institutional racism, the systemic injustice. It's just a stark, unvarnished look at a truly brutal system.
It really is.
Yeah.
So to get the full impact of the Nickel Boys, we should probably dig into Whitehead's rhetorical situation.
Yeah.
Like, what was he trying to do? What was the context? Who was he talking to?
Yeah.
Let's start with Whitehead himself. He's a two-time Pulitzer winner, known for fiction, nonfiction, often focusing on race, memory, American trauma.
Right. And his credibility, his ethos, it isn't just about the awards, though those help, obviously. It's how he works with history. Books like The Underground Railroad already set him up as someone who really engages with Black history and systemic injustice. He's not just spinning a yarn, he's doing this kind of literary archaeology, using the novel to dig up truths archives might hide, making us confront them, viscerally.
That's a really good way to put it, literary archaeology. And the occasion, the timing, is so significant. It's a direct response, right, to that shocking 2014 discovery of unmarked graves at the real Dozier School. But then it comes out in 2019, right in the middle of this national reckoning over police violence,
Right.
racial injustice. So it feels both historical and incredibly current.
Which raises the question, who's the audience here? I think it's pretty broad. You've got your American literary fiction readers, sure, but also people engaged with racial justice issues, educators, maybe even policymakers. Anyone really invested in understanding segregation's legacy, the civil rights struggle. It pulls in a lot of different people.
And what's his core purpose then? What's he trying to achieve?
I think fundamentally he wants to uncover, literally and metaphorically, these hidden histories of institutional racism. Yes, provoke moral outrage, definitely, but also, and this feels crucial, to affirm the dignity, the resilience of the people targeted by this violence. Even when justice, real justice, is denied, it's about bearing witness.
In the subject, Nickel Academy itself, it's more than just a backdrop, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It functions as this chilling microcosm, like a small-scale model of the larger American racial order, past and present, especially how it operates for its Black students. It shows how deep that injustice runs.
Okay, let's talk about his style, the tone. It's so restrained, direct, unflinching. He doesn't go for sensationalism. How does that understated prose work when the subject matter is so brutal?
It creates this almost unbearable tension, doesn't it? That control is key to his credibility, his ethos. His authority comes not just from being a celebrated novelist, but from how carefully he adapts the real history. He doesn't need to yell. The weight of the facts, presented so plainly, just carries so much power.
Yeah, and what strikes me is how he avoids being preachy. The message is powerful, but he lets the facts, the boys suffering, kind of speak for themselves. How does he pull that off?
He lets the story breathe, minimal authorial hand-holding. He doesn't tell you what to think, he creates an experience for you. And that leads right into the pathos, the emotion. It's soaked in it. Hope, fear, friendship, despair. It's all there. By showing us Elwood's idealism right next to Turner's cynicism, he pulls us deep into their emotional worlds. You feel their hope, their disappointment, their resilience, their loss. It builds this incredibly strong empathy.
That pull is intense. I kept clinging to the hope from Dr. King's speeches that Elwood holds on to, even as the story just keeps showing you the harsh reality.
Yeah.
How does Whitehead balance that idealism versus this feeling of inevitable tragedy?
It's just masterful tension. Those recurring mentions of Dr. King, they act as this almost heartbreaking counterpoint. They keep hope alive, but maybe also highlight the tragedy more sharply when things go wrong. It's a gut punch, like you said, because that hope feels so real but gets crushed.
So how did he build his case logically at the Logos?
Well, he does it by smashing Elwood's faith and justice right up against the completely irrational, cruel logic of the institution itself.
Right, like the point system at Nickel. That's such a perfect example of that twisted logic.
Exactly.
It looks like fairness on the surface, a rational system, but it's just this cruel illusion, completely devoid of actual justice. It just exposes how perverse the whole place is.
Designed to look orderly while it systematically dehumanizes. Okay, so let's unpack his toolkit a bit, the specific strategies he uses. That narrative structure is brilliant right from page 1. He opens with the discovery of the bodies, present day. You know immediately something awful happened here, and the past isn't staying buried. The stakes are high from the get-go.
And then, yeah, most of it is flashback, Elwood's time there. But he keeps cutting back to adult Elwood, or who we think is adult Elwood. That creates suspense, but also really hammers home how trauma lingers, how it shapes a whole life. It never lets go.
He's also fantastic with contrast, juxtaposition, putting opposites side by side, hope versus despair constantly, Elwood's optimism against Turner's hard pragmatism, the big talk about racial progress outside versus the grim reality of Jim Crow inside Nickel, the brutality inside versus the world's indifference outside. That constant friction forces you to see things clearly.
And the symbolism is so potent. The White House, that place for punishment. It becomes this chilling symbol of state-sanctioned violence against black bodies. It connects the local abuse to the whole national system of white supremacy.
And the title itself, The Nickel Boys. Talk about irony. Nickel, this cheap metal, it just perfectly captures how these boys' lives were devalued by the school, by the society that let it happen. It's a devastating critique right there in the name.
He uses illusion really well, too. The Dr. King references aren't just historical markers. They place the story firmly within that larger black freedom struggle, reminding you of the era's hopes and the crushing weight against them.
Yeah, and there are these subtler nods, too, maybe to classic prison stories. It gives the novel this deeper literary resonance, connects it to other tales of confinement and resistance.
So he's weaving in these larger contexts. What about repetition? How does that work?
Think about those unmarked graves. They appear at the beginning, and that image just echoes. It's a constant, chilling reminder of the silenced victims, a visual leitmotif almost that sticks with you.
Right, and the repetition of Dr. King's words in Elwood's head.
Exactly. Another powerful motif. It's like this drumbeat of hope fighting against despair. It reinforces those themes of memory, resistance, the struggle.
Wow, when you break it down like that, you see how incredibly crafted it is. Makes you really think about the power of storytelling.
Definitely. And speaking of reflection, Mindful Moments, our YouTube channel, offers AI book analyses, summaries, and critiques designed to spark just that kind of reflection and rational thought. It's another great place to go deeper with books like this one.
Absolutely a great resource. So let's talk effectiveness. Did Whitehead achieve his purpose here?
I'd say undeniably yes. He succeeds in making visible what was hidden, using fiction to force a confrontation with those archival silences. He doesn't just report history, he makes you feel it.
Exactly. He engages you emotionally, intellectually.
Really?
Makes you rethink how the past connects to right now. And the accessibility helps its impact too, right? The clear prose, the compelling characters, the suspense. It reaches a broad audience, not just academics.
For sure. That balance between the harsh reality and the allegorical meaning means both casual readers and critics can really grapple with it. And the narrative logic, even while depicting something fundamentally irrational like racial terror, feels coherent, devastatingly coherent.
And then that ending, wow. It forces you to completely reread, rethink everything that came before.
It just underscores the lasting, insidious nature of trauma. That twist really stays with you.
And ethically, he handles it so carefully. He doesn't exploit the suffering.
No, he honors their dignity, their humanity, even while showing you the worst. That feels vital for a book tackling this kind of subject.
Agreed. Are there any, I don't know, limitations or nuances we should maybe touch on?
Well, being fiction, it can explore inner lives, moral gray areas in ways nonfiction can't. But the flip side is, maybe it abstracts things slightly from specific historical people and events. It focuses more on the representative experience.
That makes sense. And its power probably hits differently depending on your familiarity with American racial history, though the core themes, injustice, resilience, they're universal. They speak to anyone who's seen or faced systemic oppression.
Right. And that restraint and tone we talked about. For some readers, maybe it feels a bit distant, but I think it's crucial. It keeps the book from tipping into melodrama, maintains its serious moral weight.
So, bottom line, Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys is just a masterful piece of rhetorical storytelling. Through that careful structure, symbolism, contrast, that unflinching tone, he doesn't just witness a suppressed history, he challenges all of us to see how racial injustice echoes today.
Yeah. Like the novel shows, sometimes the best way to speak truth to power isn't shouting. It's telling, plainly and honestly, what's been buried.
That's a powerful takeaway.
I miss you.
Wonder, doesn't it? What other buried truths are out there in society today just waiting for a voice, and what's our part in actually listening?
A crucial question.
We really hope this deep dive gave you sharper insight into Colson Whitehead's incredible book. For even more detail, click the link you see on screen for the in-depth book summary. Please subscribe, share this analysis if you found it valuable, maybe purchase the book through the link, and most importantly, keep thinking rationally about these vital histories.
And in these final moments, check out the many genre-based book podcasts available at Mindful Moments. Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.